Okay, picture this. A funeral. A daughter standing there, silent, no tears, nothing. Her father's in the coffin and she's just watching. And then someone behind her actually whispers, "Cold-hearted girl." And she almost, well, she sort of smiles.
It's baffling, right?
Completely baffling. And that image, that paradox, is really the entry point for our deep dive today. We're looking at a story drawn from an excerpt called "The Silence of Love, A Daughter's Revelation." And it touches on something we explore a lot here, these hidden narratives, the unspoken things in families and relationships.
Okay.
So our mission really is to unpack this specific story to see how one single moment, like that one at the funeral, can hold, well, basically a lifetime of hidden feelings.
Then lead to a huge shift in understanding.
Exactly, a truly transformative understanding.
So let's get into it. This is Emily's story and her father. He sounds like a really difficult figure.
Oh, definitely. A war veteran, profoundly affected by it, it seems. Broken, maybe. A man of very, very few words.
And he never told her, "I love you."
Not once.
Yeah, never. According to the story, not once. Her childhood sounds incredibly stark. Routine, cold dinners, no birthday celebrations, no hugs. Just this quiet house and a steady door, always locked.
So she grew up with this constant question mark, this emotional wall.
Yeah, this mystery surrounding him. And she carried that, that lack of understanding right up until he died.
Which brings us back to the funeral, her lack of tears.
Right. And it's crucial to understand, it wasn't that she didn't feel anything. It seems more like, well, her childhood had sort of conditioned her not to show emotion, maybe even not to fully connect with it herself.
Like she was taught not to feel, almost.
Precisely. It's a defense mechanism. You see it sometimes with trauma or that kind of ambiguous loss.
Yeah.
The connection's there, buried deep, but expressing it is blocked.
Okay.
And then comes the turning point. That same night, after the funeral, she finally unlocks his study, the place that was always forbidden.
For the first time ever, you can just imagine the feeling, can't you? Stepping into that space.
Exactly. What would she find? And what she found was, well, it changed everything. A hidden box.
Okay.
And inside this box, hundreds of letters, unsent letters.
Hundreds. To her.
To her, every single one starting the same way. "To my little girl, I'm sorry."
Oh, wow.
It was like unlocking a secret diary of his entire inner life after the war. He'd written them daily, it seems, pouring out everything he couldn't say.
What kind of things?
His experiences, the nightmares that wouldn't leave him, his struggles. So all the things he felt he couldn't burden her with, or maybe just couldn't articulate face to face, his own pain.
So the silence wasn't indifference, it was damage, protection, maybe.
It seemed so. A result of his trauma, definitely.
Yeah.
A way he coped, perhaps the only way he knew how.
Oh,
But that wasn't all in the box.
there was more.
Oh yeah, save birthday cards. Cards he'd bought or made but never gave her.
No way.
And drawings, little pictures she'd made in school, things he'd kept, even framed some of them, all hidden away in there.
So all that time.
All that time, underneath the silence, the love was there, tangible proof. And seeing it all laid out like that,
Yeah.
that's when it hit her. The full
The
picture,
realization.
the profound realization. Yes, he was broken by his experiences, deeply broken,
Yeah.
but he hadn't stopped loving her. Not for a second. And understanding that, that's what finally broke through her walls.
That's when the tears came.
That's when they finally came, after a lifetime of holding them back.
And the story doesn't end there, does it? The resolution is something else.
It really is.
Uh-huh.
The very next morning, she goes back to the funeral hall, back to his coffin, or perhaps his grave by then,
Okay.
and she brings the letters,
Oh.
all of them.
What does she do? Read them aloud?
No, nothing like that. She
Yeah.
just places them there, all those hundreds of unsent messages, a lifetime of his hidden heart, right there.
And then?
Then she speaks, just 6 words. She says, "Dad, I read every single one."
Wow.
And then she cries, really cries. It's this incredibly powerful moment of release,
Right.
catharsis, like finally closing a circle that had been open her whole life.
Connecting with him, finally, through his words, even after he's gone.
Exactly. Understanding the silence.
So this whole story, this deep dive, it really underscores that love isn't always, spoken out loud.
Not all. And silence isn't always cold or empty. Sometimes it's full of things unsaid, things too painful or difficult to voice.
It challenges our easy assumptions, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It pushes us, and hopefully pushes you listening, to look a bit deeper, to look beyond the surface of how people act or what they say or don't say.
To wonder about the why behind the what.
Yes, because maybe there's a hidden narrative, like with Emily's father. Maybe there's unspoken love or pain or fear shaping things in ways we don't immediately see.
So the takeaway isn't just about this one story.
No, it's much broader. It's an invitation, really. Consider the people in your own life. Are there silences you've perhaps misinterpreted? Are there actions you could try to understand from a different angle?
Looking for the unsent letters in our own lives, so to
Yeah.
speak.
That's a great way to put it. Seeking that deeper understanding. It can genuinely enrich your relationships, your empathy, your whole perspective. Realizing that love has many languages, and silence, sometimes, is one of them.